Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a show for you? A very special episode of Survivor Squared where Mr. Wendell Holland, winner of Season 36 Ghost Island, he was on Season 40 Winners at War, comes on to the beaches of Survivor Squared to break down Season 50 from a champion's point of view. It's a wonderful conversation. Wendell comes on, talks about what he learned on Season 36 and Season 40 and how he sees Season 50 breaking down from those angles. We get a Season 50 winner prediction out of him. We get a Season 50 first boot prediction out of him. And we talk about all the watch parties he's throwing with Brice and When Presents all over the country for Season 50, the biggest season ever. And we also talk about lovingly how he is a new father and how that has changed his world. It's a wonderful conversation. I'm so happy, so honored to have him on here to talk about it. And we go a little bit long, that's okay. We had a blast talking about it. But this is your first time watching Survivor Squared. Welcome. My name is Tony Squares. Every single week we are covering Survivor Season 50, building up to it with the Season 50 power rankings on the channel right now, various Survivor, all the episodes breaking down the best twists, the worst twists, everything leading to Season 50. And of course, when the episodes are live, we're going to have guests on. My co-host Bailey Buffs will be back breaking down every single episode of Season 50, the biggest season in Survivor history. So we had to bring on the biggest guest in this show's history. But I won't belabor the point anymore. It's time to get to the interview. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you want to see more. But for now, let's head to Wendell. As I said in the intro, this is the first time on Survivor Squared we've ever been graced with a sole survivor. Very excited to talk to a man that won Season 36 Ghost Island. He battled all the demons and came out on top. On Season 40, he was one of the winners brought back to go to war. And now he is sitting here as a man who is a new father, as a man who is an entrepreneur, as a man who is the head of one of the biggest worldwide, countrywide Survivor viewing party atmospheres you can have. And I am very excited to have on the show for the first time Mr. Wendell Holland. Come on in, Wendell.
Thank you very much, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I just want to personally thank you for all that you do for the community on your social media. So thank you very much, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man, and thank you for calling that out. It's a weird world that I've found myself into. For those who don't know, I'm watching all of this Survivor stuff for the first time. It started back in 2025, trying to recap these seasons, building up to Season 50, meeting all the faces like Wendell, like the rest of them, interacting with them online with the silly videos I make, and it's brought me here where we can now connect. I can ask you the hard-hitting questions about your journeys on Survivor, how Season 50 is going to be coming about. But you, as a fan of the show, let's start right there. As someone who's been on it, you were a fan before it. Now that we've grown to Season 50, do you feel that excitement churning in the community around you? Like, do you feel like it's all amped up, the marketing, the billboards, everything is coming together? Is this like, how high are we on the Survivor chain right now? The ebbs and flows in the zeitgeist of popular culture. Is Survivor hitting a real high point right now?
I think so. I think Survivor is in a very sweet spot right now. And over the last few seasons, I've seen them kind of like experimenting with things, Survivor as a whole, experimenting with things. I remember Brice, Isaiah from Cagayan, and myself, we've been throwing watch parties. This is about to be our 10th season throwing watch parties. But we kind of got on CBS's radar a few seasons ago, and they would like send reps to our parties and like, you know, we'd roll out the red carpet for them, and then they started throwing events, and then they started doing these things. We've seen them building and building. Now they got this, the Survivor cafes, and
yep.
Brice and I have put out these silly songs every tour, and now Jeff Probst has a song. So like, it's cool to see them really like doing different things than they've been doing. And I think that's what makes Survivor special, and that's what gives Survivor longevity.
Yeah.
And going into a season like Season 50, it seems like they're striking on all cylinders. We got a great cast. I know everyone's like, oh, I want this person, I want that. Whatever. We got a great cast. You know, Coach is on, Q is on. Like, let's go.
Yep.
And I'm just very excited. It's going to be a good season.
So so much I want to dive
Sorry,
into
that was a
from
lot.
that answer. No, it was exactly what I wanted. So much for me to jump off into. I was going to save this for later, but since you brought it up at the top, the Brice and Wen Presents, these events that you guys have been throwing all over the country, these watch parties, I've seen them now in my feed. People show up, all these former Survivor players, the Amazing Race and all this stuff are all showing up to be a part of these parties. They look like an absolute vibe to go to. And I saw the season 50 slate. You're all over the place for watch parties in every single state almost. How did this all form? You said you've been doing it for 10 seasons. How did you meet Brice? How did that partnership form? And how have we grown to where we are today?
It was very organic. Brice and I are real best friends. We're both Philly boys that are Survivor alums. And I met him during when my season started. I reached out to Survivor alums saying, hey, I'm on the new season. If y'all would like to come to my little watch parties, please do. And this guy, Brice, I was throwing an event in a part of the city, and then there was a snowstorm, and so I had to cancel it. And I'm at my parents' house about to watch, and I'm just like, man, this is about to be my season. I wish I could watch it somewhere. And the doorbell rings, and Brice Isaiah shows up to my parents' house in a blizzard. And I'm like, who is this guy? But cool, and thank you. And this is my mom and my dad and our dog. And so at that moment, and he's wearing a Brice outfit. I think he had a long scarf on. And I don't know him really, but
Yep.
I was just like, this guy's legit. I'm appreciative. And at that point, I had like not a lot of followers, and he had a lot of followers. And I'm like, man, this celebrity showed up to my parents' house, and then he continued to show up to my watch parties. Like with his actions, he showed that he was a friend of mine, and the friendship grew. I'm a builder and designer. I would take him. He would help us build things, install things. He'd do our social media, and the friendship grew and grew. I get back on season 40. We want to start doing watch parties. But also the name came because during my season, there were a lot of like eyes on Philly, and like things were hot around here.
Yep.
And we kind of pushed for Rob Sesternino to have an RHAP in Philly because there had never been one. Mm-hmm. And he did that. And Brice and I were like, we should throw a welcome party. And I had just won, so like there were a lot of eyes on me. Yep. And Brice was on Cagayan, and he didn't do so well. And this is before he started podcasting and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, Brice, we should name it Brice and Wen Present, because everyone already knows me. Yeah. And you were on some time ago, and it was short-lived, so let's boost you up. So it's Brice and Wen Present, and now we've been rocking for 10 seasons, and crazy. It turned into a real business. It turned into something real as we started taking it more seriously. Yeah. And it's out of our hands at this point. It's a real community, and what we try to stress is like, okay, it's called Brice and Wen, but it's this incredible community that wherever we go, they're all coming out, because we all love this awesome show that's been on so long, and we're all so different, but we can all come together to love this show, talk trash on it, yell at the TV, cry with them, get excited. It's like a sports event, Tony.
Yep, absolutely. That's why this Survivor thing grabbed me, man, from the beginning. I had a good friend of mine. We've met a long, long time ago. We are brothers in arms now. When he came to me, he said, Tony, you have to start watching Survivor, because he knows how much of a sports fanatic I am. I hate your Philadelphia Eagles. That's fine. We don't have to talk about it. But he knew if I started watching Survivor, I'd be hooked, because that's my whole gimmick, is treating this like it's, America's fifth major sport. And I love coming at it from that angle. I love watching it from the eyes of a sports fan. It's so much fun to break down the game tape and go through all the intricacies of it. But it does lead to a raucous fan base, to people who are they are diehards. They either, I love Sandra, I love Parvati, Boston Rob, some of the newer players. Like, you have your favorites, you have the people you don't like, and when we have a season like season 50, when they're all coming to a head, it just reinvigorates all of those old fandoms back into it. But I want to stay on Brice and Wen Present for a second, because you said you've been doing watch parties for 10 plus years. I've run events in my past too. I know sometimes they go great, and then sometimes some things happen that are out of your control. So do you have a story, especially from those first few years, where like shit hit the fan and you guys had to fix stuff on the fly?
Yeah. So you don't know how new markets will perform, And so over these 10 seasons, we've now learned that we look at the seasons as a whole, as opposed to like, each city. because we will inevitably take L's in cities, and especially when we're opening up a new market. So a couple seasons back, we want to go to New Orleans for our second trip there. The first time we kind of tagged along with RHAP, and it was an awesome party. Second time we're going solo, so it's just me and Brice rolling up our sleeves and doing our thing. We find this awesome, huge venue that can hold like 500, and we sell 30 tickets. 30 tickets. We have a crew. We have a staff. We have an amazing tour DJ. Yep. We have a tour manager. We have our photographer. We have we got a crew. Yep. We sold 30 tickets, my man. So we had to get creative. So we shrink the room. We say, all right, we can't take up this huge 500 person space. We're just going to go in this little corner over here, the size of a bathroom. And we also said, you know what? We're going to make sure everyone leaves here with a great experience. Everyone will sit down and we'll turn it to a live podcast right after. So they're getting more bang for their buck and they're getting a very intimate, real experience. And I think it was that moment that taught Brice and I there's no such thing as too small of an amount of people. There's no such thing as a loss. And it's all a matter of how you re-envision and pivot. And so I think that was a real turning point for us. But it also taught us how to look at new markets where we just set realistic goals. Hey, if we have 50, 100 people, that's a win. Yep. We're going to do 700 people in New York at the finale, and that'll take care of things.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. You got to paper the streets, man. You got to give out those free tickets and fill that room.
We've done that too, man. Like free tickets, like buy one, get one. Yeah, it's been... Now things are good, but it was crazy for a moment. You know?
I can imagine. Again, season 50, you got all these big parties planned for season 50. The crowd's going to be there. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere. And I'm excited for it because, again, this is the first time I'm watching a comeback season live with everyone else. My first season I watched live with the community was season 48. I watched season 49, and now it's like bringing everyone back for a run at the ship here. So I'm getting juiced up as well. And now seeing all these fans juiced up, I can't wait to experience it live at parties, watch parties of my own, like going to my buddy's place. Like we're all planning something pretty much for every Wednesday night that we have this season upon us. But I want to dive into some of your personal experiences on your two seasons and try to turn them into use your expertise. Like you're the NFL Hall of Famer. You got the gold jacket on and you're telling me this is what happened when I played and this is how it's going to work in this Super Bowl, because I'm treating this season 50 like it is the Super Bowl of Survivor. So the first one I want to talk about is on Ghost Island. When you and Domenick ran through that entire cast, you owned that island. It was a tag team. You both had the belts over your shoulder. It came down to the wire. You tied in final tribal, and then Laurel gives you the victory. If you two were asked to come back, you and Domenick both, on an island together, do you think because you work so well as a tag team, you guys would be dead set targets from the jump? And I ask that because Kyle and Kamilla, Kyle who won season 48, Kamilla eliminated in fire making, they work so well as a stealth tag team. There is no more stealth. It is out in the open. That's the last season these people saw before they entered season 50. They're both on the island together. Do you think they have huge targets on their back because of the tag team belts they won in their season?
I think there's a lot of recency bias in Survivor. So when you go out there as a new winner or as a new duo, of course you're gonna have a lot of eyes on you. So let's take any of these new winners and they're gonna have targets on them. And then you look at duos. Of course you have targets on you. Kyle and Kamilla were so stealth. Dom and I, there was nothing stealth about us. There was a point where at the merge, Chris Noble brought everyone to the water and said they're voting for us to send us out. At that moment, me and Dom looked at each other like, yo, we got to stand back to back for the rest of this game and just fight off everyone we can till we get to the end. And if one of us goes down, the other one is going down. So that was necessity. And it was so obvious and blatant that he and I were working together. In Kyle and Kamilla's case, it's brilliant because they were so stealth with it. And, they communicate when they have to and they get out of the way. And I loved watching it. It was masterful. So with season 50, I'm going to say they will have a huge target on their back. But if I think about me and Dom coming back, Dom is going to try to get me out of there. So I feel like Kamilla is going to be like, yo, I know we got a target. I'm going to get Kyle out, or vice versa. I think that despite them being cool, I feel like Camilla's got a bone to pick. The other thing I want to mention, Tony, is think about what could be like the scariest duo ever is like Sarah Lacina and Tony, season 40. They played before together and together. Like, these two are petrifying, yet in season 40, amongst all winners, they found a way to take it very far together, and Tony won. So how in the world did we allow that to happen? I don't know. But, there are instances where you have these fantastic duos going very far together, despite everyone knowing how much of a threat they are.
Yeah. And that's what, again, I'm catching up to all these seasons late, but to me, that's what, at least what I'm getting and what I'm watching, that's what cemented both Tony and Sarah as where they are in the hierarchy of Survivor players. Not only did Tony win in a season of all winners, but they performed that way. And I do hope that season 50, we do have some legends in there already, but I do hope that season 50 kind of catapults 2 or 3 of these players into that next level of like, hey, not only were they great on their season, but on season 50, they effing rocked it. I would love to see some new stars. We have 12 players from the new era on this season, and I'd love to see some of them become that next step, take that, venture forward into superstar status from the way they played their game. I think there's a bunch of really strong players from the new era on this season. Going to season 40, though, when you came on there, Winners at War, it was very much, there was an old era, some original players like the Boston Robs of the world, and then there was a bunch of people who had just won 30, 31, 32, all those, and you guys stepped in, and you, Nick and Yule in particular, got together real fast because you saw that there was sort of some out-of-the-game alliances that were coming into this game. Like, they had been friends forever. There was the poker alliance with Tyson and Kim and Boston Rob. Like, there were these relationships that were already born outside of the game, and so you guys looked at each other and said, you're alone, let's, 3 stronger than 1. How quickly did that come about on the island? And then as we push it to 50, do you think that's a quality state of mind way to play for some of these players that might be kind of alone on an island of tribes?
You want the truth for my season, and it's going to be the same for 50? The truth is that was a pregame alliance, and 50 is going to be a season of pregame alliances. My man, I met Nick, that's all it's going to be. And Survivor better get on board with the editing, because all 50 is about to be is a bunch of pregame alliances. Mm-hmm. And I'm not spoiled. I don't know what is about to happen, but everyone is so connected. Yeah. So in my case, I was one of the most recent winners. It was me and then Nick. And so when you think about recency bias, and I won in kind of flashy form with beating a very strong Dom. And so a lot of eyes were on me, and a lot of people were predicting that I'd do very well. But I was buddies with Nick and buddies with my contemporaries, kind of, me, Nick, Michelle, and I, we dated when I was on Ghost Island, and we were friends ever since. So me, Nick, Michelle, Adam, we pre-gamed. I think one of them was talking to Yule. We had this little crew.
This is going into the show.
Going into the show. Yeah. Because let's think about it. How can we, who have just met each other the last 2-3 years, compete with people 15 years in that were in each other's weddings, that are married to each other, that played poker with each other, that, that used to date each other? The amount of... they were talking about me and Michelle. I heard that there were some other people that did a lot of dating before me and Michelle, okay? We're going to leave that alone. Nonetheless, we walk in with this pregame alliance, and then we find each other on the island together. And after some swaps, it's me, Michelle, Nick, Yule, and Parv. Our alliance is there. We know what's going to happen, if anything has to happen. But when we got to that one blue tribe, what was it, Selly? I don't know what it was. That blue tribe that was a mess that I thought was so strong. And we had our pregame alliance together. Yeah. And that's how that materialized. And I guess relating it to 50, you got this new era. You got these old school players. In 40, the new school players didn't have a strategy to pick off all the super older players, but that's just what happened. And if you think about it, I'm not trying to sit at the end next to Ethan, next to Rob, next to Kim next to Boss. Like, there are poverty. There are people that you just don't want to get in striking distance of this finale. And clearly Tony Vlachos got there and just, he's the GOAT. But in season 50, I think people will remember what happened in 40.
Yeah.
And really take a look at especially these new trios and duos coming from this new era. This is a powerful new era crew that is used to playing this new era game, a shortened game with all the twists and turns. Mm-hmm. And I am going to be interested to see how these pregame friendships and whatnot, and people from, like, you got 3 people from David Goliath, I believe. Yep. I'm going to be interested to see, almost as a response to 40, how things go in 50.
That's interesting. Yeah, it is interesting to think of it that way. What will be the repercussions of this? I talked to Troy Zan on this show, and he was talking about his role in Game Changers, season 34, and that was a cast that they all brought back. And he said that him and a lot of people on the island, they really tried to change their original game too much, because for Troy Zan, it didn't work on One World. So when it comes to Game Changers, he's like, I'm going to play it this way instead. And it worked in some capacity, but he's a 0-vote finalist, and he knows why that happened, because he didn't play the game that he wanted to play coming into it. So season 50 might have the same thing, where some of these people were this close, Charlie, this close, and they lost. Will they change too much and alter the course too much to try and get themselves to the top? Did you come in 40 being like, I need to change my game, or it worked the first time, I'm going to keep going?
In season 36, I put my heart out there. I was friends with everybody, and I think that really helped at the end. And, I was just loyal. I would say loyal to a fault, but it got me the win at the end. And I played really hard. And if you look at the jury, there were 10 of them. Yeah. The first 5 eliminated voted for Dom. The last 5 eliminated voted for me. So actually, if we had a shorter jury, it might not have been as historic. But I will say, I wanted to go into 40 playing different, because I was so loyal to my allies. I wanted to go in there and be a little more cutthroat. And I watched some pre-press. And when I think about me going into 40, I can't help but draw the comparisons of Kyle going into 50, because he just won 2 seasons ago. I think that's where I was. And, great player with his ally, et cetera, et cetera. And I wanted to change my game by being a little more cutthroat. And Kyle, I heard that in his pre-press, that he's ready to be a little more cutthroat. And I will say, I don't know if that worked out too well for me, and they edited me to look like a real jerk. Like, Survivor, y'all know me. Like, Probst, you know me. But anyway, that being said, 1, I hope Kyle does it better than me, because that is my real life friend. And 2, I hope they don't edit him to look like no jerk out there.
It all depends. We shall see what happens. It was a rough edit on 40. I'm not going to lie for you. They did you dirty on that one. And I will say, my co-host Bailey Buff, who's if you're watching this show for the first time, me and Bailey break down every single episode of Survivor weekly on this show, and she's wonderful. She's away in London right now, chasing a dream. But she actually was babysat when she was a baby by Jeff Probst pre-Survivor hosting, if you can believe that small world angle to it. You're right? Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Imagine Jeff Probst as your babysitter, and it's something else.
Yes. He's done a lot of things. And now he found his lane, but
absolutely.
Yeah. Incredible.
Speaking of, you played on what is determined as the old era. And then season 40 was the last sort of old era season. Now season 41 hits. We're all the way to 50. We've shortened the game a little bit. We've added a lot of different twists. Some of them really work. Some of them really don't. And you've now, because you've been throwing these watch parties, you've been in it. You've seen all the ramifications of it. You've seen some crowds, gravitates towards some things, and some crowds be turned away by some things. This season 50, 24 people. That's almost as many people as days they will spend on the island. Do you think in the hands of the fans is the gist of this season. Do you think that they're going to try some new things here, the Mr. Beast ultimatum, whatever they are? Do you think that's too much changing coming into the game? Obviously, we don't know what they are. Or do you think this is such a big thing that no matter what they try to throw in this, even if there is an hourglass twist out there, it's all going to work out because of the players on the island?
I will say I love that Survivor takes chances. Especially because they have the benefit of being able to hit the reset button every season or two. I mean, they film 2 seasons back to back, so maybe after 2 seasons they can hit the reset button and change things. And I love that they are able to adapt. Any good business person understands you got to adapt to whatever. So I love that they take risks, and I think that now we've had I guess you call it the old era, and now the new era. And it's like, where are we going from here? How do we allow this amazing show that has been on for 25 years to continue on? And I think growth is good. So I'm optimistic for like the Mr. Beast collab and the Billie Eilish Idol and all that. I did watch the Beast Games crossover episode where Jeff Probst essentially was the host of that whole episode. It was like watching a game of Survivor. It was awesome. So I'd urge anyone to watch that. If we bring Mr. Beast over and he does a little something, Jeff is the best host ever, period. If we bring Mr. Beast over and he does a little something, cool.
Yeah.
It's
growth.
We don't need, but we got Probst, so we don't need you to do too much, Mr. Beast. But we need you to do a little something so that, again, we can appeal to this huge Mr. Beast audience.
Yes.
And I think it's cool to just try some new inputs.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be good. And we all know people are going to hate on it. People have been hating on it.
They love to hate on it.
You could do anything and people hate on it. So whatever Jeff does, people are going to hate on it. It's all a matter of, is this going to expand the audience? Is this going to be good for the game? And so I'm optimistic. I think they keep pushing the needle forward in the right direction, although I would love 39 days.
I would too, especially with 24 people. But speaking of expanding, me and Bailey have kind of gone off on this because I'm a gamer, man. I like game mechanics. I like thinking things out. I like playing board games, playing strategy games, because I am very much like trying to see the road ahead of me, trying to plan the future steps like a chess player would. And when you see 24 people on the island, because they've played with this number before, as you mentioned in your season 36, you had 10 people on the jury. Do you think because we have 24 people, because they're coming back for this bigger season than ever, do you think either the jury is expanded so more people make the merge and make the jury and have a vote in the end? And do you think, what I think, that final tribal is not going to be 3 people, but rather a 4th person added, maybe even a 5th, but I'm more likely thinking a 4th person in final tribal. Do you think those numbers get played with a little bit?
Okay, so great question. On 40, they expanded the jury.
Yep.
I think everyone could have sat on the jury if we wanted to.
Yep.
Sandra got to the edge of extinction. She was like, I'm out of here. I love the queen for that. But in this season, I think they've tweaked some things. I actually don't think. I think that the jury size is going to be somewhere around 10.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do a super large jury.
Yeah.
Even though they did that because they wanted to hold on to these awesome characters that might get eliminated. And again, this is the celebratory season. You're going to have these awesome characters that inevitably get eliminated. So maybe you want to hold on to them. I still think they're going to have a normal size jury. And I don't think they're going to change that final 3. I don't think they'll expand it to a 4. I think that's just, if they kept the full jury like they did for season 40, maybe you can have a final 4 because numbers can get, I just
too many.
4 is so interesting. There might be a tie. I don't know. We don't need another tie. We need one historic season, Tony. So I think, you know what I'm saying? We don't need another. No time soon. I mean, things are meant to be broken and all that, but no time soon.
Maybe season 70 we can have a tie.
Yeah, when my son is on playing against, Rob's 4 girls, then there can be another tie, okay? Yeah. And Jeremy's boys,
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to tweak too much because it's in the hands of the fans, and that wasn't something offered for the vote. And I don't think that they'll tweak. I don't think that they'll throw that tweak in there.
I agree. I have the idea. I like the idea of the idea, but when you try to think about how it would actually work and come to fruition, there's too many mistakes that could happen. But I do want to talk about your boy, because you both times you were on Survivor, when you had the family visit, you brought your dad onto the island, and now you are a dad. And so I have a bunch of friends in my life that, they have burgeoning families. The little boys now are old enough to call me Uncle Tony. It brings just a smile. Like, I'll do anything. I would stop traffic for these guys if they said, Uncle Tony, can you do this? Got you, boy. I got you. How is life different now that you are the dad? You brought dad onto the island. Now you are the dad. What is the biggest change in your life?
Having a child, it's like it's like your heart is beating in another person. You become, and you could be the most selfless person ever. When you have a child, you will do anything for this little human. And you start to understand, like, you're responsible. You're teaching them how to be a little human. Like, you're teaching them everything. And even with watching when he gets upset or throws a tantrum or anything like that, I'm like, man, he doesn't know how to respond right now. He doesn't have those skills right now. So, you got everything you do, you have to understand where this little creature is coming from. It's crazy. I was just talking to my buddy Jake, who just had a son, and I was saying, and we were just comparing, because now that he's a first-time father, I was like, man, there'd be sometimes I'll be driving in the car and, like, someone might cut you off or anything like that. And when I used to lay on the horn or maybe wave or something in a unique way,
yep.
I won't do any of that. I'm driving slower. You're so different now. And for me, for 40 years, well, for all of my life, my father has been saying, because he's Wendell Sr., I'm Wendell the second. And he was, my whole life, he'd be like, hey, when the third comes around, we're going to teach him this. When the third comes around, make sure, And as my dad has gotten older, this is now a couple of years ago, because Wendy's 2.5 now. But my dad started saying things like, I'm going to be long gone, but when the third comes around, make sure you teach him how to shoot layups. I'm going to be long gone, but when the third comes around, make sure you teach him how to build, like I taught you how to build. And that's kind of a sad thing to hear from your hero, Everyone saw my dad on Survivor. I love my dad. He's worked so hard. He's done so many things to just make it good for my mom and my sisters and I. And so, we get pregnant, we have Wendy, and now my dad sees this little Wendell running around. We can go play basketball together. And it's interesting to watch your parents get older, but I know that my son keeps them young. And it's so beautiful. That is so beautiful to see. It's the greatest responsibility ever. I won't leave Philly. My son and his mother and I aren't together. I won't leave Philly. I'm not moving away because I need to be close to my son. And I changed my schedule because of my son. My life revolves around my son now. And it's so beautiful. And I just want to pour into him like my dad poured into me.
No, I get that. And I feel a camaraderie there, because I, too, am a junior. I got Tony Sr.'s dad. I'm Tony Jr. And Mom's knocking on the door being like, hey, Tony the third, when's that happening? Because she's ready. She's ready to be grandma. We'll get there soon, Ma. But no, I understand that kinship so well, man. And I'm so happy that you have that in your life. I mean, my favorite Survivor gimmick is blood versus water. When the little boy gets old enough, I don't know, could be a good tag team to enter the island.
He's got 16 more years. Jeez, I'll be like, whew, I don't know. These knees only got so much more life in them, my brother. I would do anything with him. In 20 years, I'd play with him. Absolutely.
Why not? Why not? Well, speaking of, before I let you go, I do want to dive into season 50. We have some people who are up there in age on season 50. We have, I believe, 6 players over the age of 50 this season. They're bringing a lot of people back. Jenna's there from the first season. Colby's there from season 2. And then obviously the 2 players from the most recent season 49, including the winner, Savannah. A lot of ways this could go. We know what the players are. We know what the 3 tribes are, the 3 tribes of 8. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. I'll ask you first. Who do you think gets the honor of being the first boot of season 50?
Ooh, the first boot.
Yeah.
Take a look at the 3 new winners.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'm scared for the 3 new winners. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
That'd be tough.
So
That'd
we
be
gotta
tough.
we gotta keep an eye on them. Those are the only winners that are out there, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Yo, you got 3 people walking around on this island with $1 million and nobody else is sitting like that?
Plus, one of them they've never seen before. They didn't see Savannah's season. They know one of them, Savannah or Rizzo's the winner. I'm sure that'll leak out eventually who won. Savannah walks with the grace of a winner and the power of a winner, so they could easily be like, that's Russell. Get her out right now. So that'd be tough. I love Savannah so much, and she's been so nice to us on the podcast, but that'd be tough to see her go early.
Tony, you know what? I'm going to agree with you because 1, she just got off. 2, they're going to know she's the winner. 3, she does have this air about her. She's like the new Parv. She has this confidence and grace about her. She's really freaking good at challenges. She's a beast. I'm scared for her. I think everyone will either be, and they don't know her game.
Yeah.
Fear of the unknown, you know?
Yeah.
Good luck, Savannah.
That'd be
That's
tough.
my
Okay.
prediction then. Yeah.
Then the final prediction I want to ask. We all have people we're rooting for. I'm rooting for a handful of folks on season 50, but who do you, Wendell, think is going to come away with the crown? Who is going to win season 50?
Okay. I'm rooting for so many people. Kyle, Kamilla, Q, Coach, Christian Hubicki, Rick Devins. I'm rooting for so many people, so I just want to get that out there first, okay? Now, here's the other thing, Tony.
Yeah.
I could pick up the phone and get spoiled very easily, but as a super fan, I and Brice and I podcast about this show, so I make it a point to stay away from these spoilers, and I hang out with them, you know, and people talk. So I stay away from spoilers because I love this show. Yep. And because when I'm podcasting about it, I want genuine takes. I don't want to sound like I'm predicting the future. Yep. But one thing I can't hide from is when I see online just how people are acting. Yeah. How people are posting. Yeah. And I'm not going to give you a name here, but I'm going to say there's an individual that is walking around with a lot of confidence, doing a whole lot of stuff right now. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I recall you didn't want to go back on the show because they made you look like a loony, awesome character in this world. They brought you back a couple times. They made you look kooky, but now all of a sudden you're walking around with your trumpet looking like you. So I'll tell you what. I love Coach so much. Me too. I know him in real life. I love this man. Yep. I remember when I met him in Miami at Ben Katzman's mom's house. Wow. And I'm chilling there. I'm just like, I love this dude. Mm-hmm. And it was our first time meeting each other. And I'm like, Coach, the game needs you, man. Like, if they ask you back, like, you got to go back. And he's like, nah, I'm done. I'm out of it. And there are a lot of older players that don't like the direction of the game. And it's too new. Whatever, you know. Yeah. Coach got that call, and he jumped right on that plane. Let me tell you that. And now he's prancing around everywhere. I just saw him in a video yesterday in a gymnasium with a marching band playing, and he's talking about, we're looking for idols. Bruh, Coach, I saw you 2 years ago, and you said you're done. So I want to say... I love Coach, and based on his actions outside the game and me not knowing anything, I feel like that guy has $1 million in his pocket. Or if they up the bounty for season 50, give him $5 million, whatever it. Maybe he got $2 million or $5 million in his pocket because he's walking around like a millionaire. So
that haircut looks fresh. Those threads look new in those videos.
He's walking around clean, Tony. Coach walking around like this.
I gotta
like,
say,
Coach, man, jeez.
diving into this whole world anew, getting to meet Coach for the first time. I've met all the Survivor characters. Now I've seen them all, and some of them come off as trying to be a character. They don't last for a reason. Like they're coming off and they're trying to be this, either good or bad person because they're on TV and this is their shot and they're going to throw, the heightened version of themselves. Coach, every time I saw him, I was so turned off by those people who are performing. Coach, I was so into. He's so endearing because I truly believe that is the man. Like he is, like that's who he is 100%. This is 100% truthfully Coach. And I was blown. I love him. I cannot wait to see him on season 50. He's so true.
That's him. Coach is, first of all, Coach is a good man. Like he has a good heart. He wants to do the right thing. And you get like that is Coach. He has these stories. You're gonna hear stories. He has a calm temperament, but he lets you know about these crazy things. He has a presence about him. And like you said, when I went on Ghost Island, I wasn't going out to make TV moments. And that's why, and people say it was a boring season, whatever. I was going out to win, and as a super fan, to be locked in and win. So when I'm sitting with a producer doing an interview, I'm not thinking I'm gonna make I'm just like really talking to them like, oh man, and Dom has an idol, but Donathan's running around. I'm just really trying to think it through, not make moments. But now, like, you get people that are really, they go out there with a script, or they go out there with the name that they're gonna call themselves, or they're reinventing this. And I think if it's great to make great TV, but if you're genuinely you out there, like you got a real shot at winning the game.
I could keep talking to you for hours, my friend. I don't want to take up more of your time because this has been an absolute blast breaking down not only your past, and anyone who thinks season 36 Ghost Island was boring, they're morons. Watch that season again. I had so much fun watching you and Dom take over the world and all the characters on there. Chris Noble, come on, that was a fantastic season. But thank you so much for coming on the show. Brice and Wen present. Is there any plug out there? Are there any New Orleans that we need filling right now? What's the city we need to focus on here?
I'll give you some plugs. So Brice and Wen present. Our tour is out. We're going to some new markets. I will say the new markets this season, we're going to Montreal. We're going to Oklahoma City. We're going to St. Louis. So we have some new spots that we're hitting. But also, quiet as kept, we're trying to expand a little bit. So we have called one of our season 50 alums, the man, myth, legend, Ozzy. We're going to send him on a tour. And there's going to be a lot of West Coast dates, Tony. So we're going to invite you to the LA party, maybe the San Diego party. We're going to release a whole tour for Ozzy within the next week. But yeah, thank you. And anyone that would like to check out what's going on with our live events, it's at Brice and Wen Present on Instagram. That's BRICE and Wen Present.
Fantastic. And to the Survivor Squared listeners, season 50 is around the corner. It's just next week. It's right there, and we are going to have more guests, more episodes, breaking down all this stuff. You can see the Survivor Power Rankings for the season 50 cast on my channel right now. If you like this show, give us a like, give us a subscribe, help this channel grow, because the road to season 50 is here, and we are right at the precipice of it. I cannot wait. Thank you again to Wendell for joining the show, and we will see you next week.